Hey, Dave Summers, I'm back here again with Sandy Vosk. He's the owner and founder of Advantage Technology Solutions, absolutely go to experts in supply chain management, not only the technical side, but the people side. This is a guy you're going to want to know. And we're back here for episode 8 of the greatest supply chain challenge in history, global distribution of the COVID 19 vaccine, or vaccines, right? There's more than one now. Sandy, what's on your mind this week?
Well, I think, Dave, up to now, we've really been focusing mostly on the United States. And I really wanted this one to kind of shift us to a global perspective. And it's just a great way to, I think, look at it for the next few ones. So, as of today, more than 245 million doses have been administered in over 107 countries. And that's according to Bloomberg and the data I continue to look at. And that's close to 7 million vaccines being administered a day.
Mm-hmm.
And in the US, we're close to 77 million with over 1.8 million a day, which is significantly higher than a few weeks ago and moving in a better direction with more capacity. And of course, yesterday we had some great news with Johnson and Johnson now being approved as well as the third vaccine. And that's going to really be game changing.
What's Okay, a third vaccine. What's game changing about the Johnson and Johnson vaccine?
There's like with everything, there's so much, first of all, so much information to absorb, and it's hard to really comprehend it all and what it really means. The most important thing is it works, and it's single dose, and it could prevent people from getting extremely sick and going to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been tested globally against the newer strains. So it has tremendous potential, one dose.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about it is minimal refrigeration required. And that to me is game changing from a global perspective, because right now, even though we're doing better, there's 8 billion people in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And, right, even at the current trend, that's over 4 years to get everyone vaccinated. So, I told you about this quote that inspired me. I love quotes. And today's quote is from Louis Brandeis, which is most of the things worth doing in the world have been declared impossible before they were done. A year ago, nobody saw 3 effective vaccines that we could count on, and we can. The research is proven.
Mm-hmm.
And I was inspired a couple of years ago, and I wanted to kind of share this with you. A gentleman I saw at the annual CSCMP, Council of Supply Chain Management Professionals Conference in October of 2018. His name was Keller Renato. And when I go to these events, I always like to get close. I want to see people present.
The front
I want to
row.
really look them in the eye.
The front
I like
row.
to get in the front row. And I was fortunate to be there in the front row. And this guy was dynamic, Dave. So dynamic. He had spoken at TED conferences. And he had a really unique approach to managing healthcare on a global basis. And what he said, which was so profound, was that we really don't have a medical problem. We have a supply chain problem. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm 8 weeks into this series with you, and that's absolutely the way it feels to me. Absolutely, I'm in agreement.
Well, this is like 2.5 years ago, and he's talking about how he's focusing on Africa and how many children were dying because they couldn't get medical supplies or blood to them. It's not that they didn't have it. They couldn't deliver it to them on a timely basis. No roads. If there was a disaster, how were you getting it there?
Mm-hmm.
So this amazing gentleman developed a solution based on drones and built a company based in Rwanda, and ultimately could get medical supplies to every point of Rwanda brilliantly. But you go, okay, where will that fit in the United States? And right, how could it help us here? Right? I mean, what's your thought on that?
Well, I mean, we got roads, we got highways, we've got big trucks, we've got reefer trucks, we've got yeah, exactly. The world is a big place. How do you get stuff everywhere?
Well, there's a CNBC, actually last month, Keller was on and he mentioned this and it blew me away. More than 100 million people in America in both rural and urban areas live in pharmacy deserts and lack adequate access to medicine. So even in America, we think, okay, we have vaccines and people complaining about not getting it in the cities. What about all these other areas and how are we going to get it there? So uh, to me, it goes back to who would have even seen this as a potential source of distribution
Hmm.
in America and in the world, which could significantly speed up now with J&J.
Hmm.
And so I continue to remain bullish, even though people are going crazy
Hmm.
and can't wait for this thing to be over.
Hmm.
I remain bullish about what's ahead a few months down the road.
Exactly. The solutions seem to be falling into place. Our ability to deal with the changes associated with the solutions seems to be taking shape. So there is reason for optimism. Absolutely. Sandy, we're running out of time here.
I
And
just want to say one other thing before we get
yeah,
to questions.
sure.
And David, you on the last episode really raised this whole thing about people,
Hmm.
right? And it's about the people. And in collaboration, it's really collaboration, scientists collaborating. And while I was preparing for today, May 2nd, I'm sorry, March 2nd, waiting for May, waiting
What are
for
you
warmer
doing to me?
days.
Come on.
March 2nd, just this morning, Merck announced that they're going to collaborate with Johnson and Johnson. They have extra
Hmm.
capacity to help manufacture vaccines. So the global collaboration, in my mind, is really what will get us out of this much sooner than 4 years. I'm hoping within 2 years.
Good news. So, what are your three questions?
So in this, most of the things being declared impossible for executives out there, what barriers are holding you back today? What in your mind are impossible barriers that perhaps you looked at them another angle, they're not impossible? And especially with technology, how can you use technology, number two, in new ways to help you overcome these obstacles? And the third, which is it's not technology for technology's sake, but what are the specific benefits you could achieve if you did? You look at a company like Zipline and, saving lives, the speed of distribution, on, unbelievable. And majority of the folks have no idea this company even exists
Right.
before they'll see this video. So
Well,
it's a
they should
pleasure to do this with you today.
and they should definitely check that out. Absolutely. Once again, we're here with Sandy Vosk. He's founder and owner of Advantage Technology Solutions. His email is on this page. If you have questions or concerns on the issues that Sandy has raised, please reach out to him. I think you'll find him very forthcoming and very approachable. He is to me, at least. I'll say that. Sandy, so great to talk with you again, and obviously looking forward to next week.
Ditto. And happy March, not May. Have a great day.